So morphology. Morphology is that here. Morphology, what people usually call grammar, because it has a lot to do with cases and endings and so on. It's a very layman definition of grammar, but it's fine. So morphology. And when we're talking about morphology, we talk about the different word classes, if you like, and we start with a noun. Okay, the noun. And what happened there? Yeah, generally speaking, I mean, nouns had loads of different endings, yeah, case markers, plural endings, and so on. And what happened to those endings? Because we don't have them anymore. Yeah? And they were either completely lost, okay, completely disappeared, or they were harmonized or substituted, something like that. I mean, here it is plural. There were many, many plural endings in Old English, and those plural endings, they all coalesced into one single morpheme, and this means morpheme, those brackets here, one single morpheme, the S morpheme. And so they degenerated. I mean, degeneration, in inverted commas. We still have, of course, other plurals, oxen, children, sheep, and feet, but those are negligible. If you compare those to, all the S plurals we have in English today. We'll come to the others as well. I'll explain those. But, generally speaking, the S is the predominant plural marker in English today. So how did this come about? Here we go. This is Old English, more or less, and you just see, how many different plural morphemes existed in Old English. Hundas, hounds today, shippu, ships, whose, houses. There we had the zero morpheme in Old English as a plural, okay. Sunnan, the sons, okay. Tida, the tides today, and childru, children. But there you see, this is the situation in Old English. And in the first step, of course, the vowels were weakened. The vowels. This is what usually the way it starts. That the vowels are turned into schwa, because they are weakened, and this has to do with to some extent, with that Germanic words are always stressed on the first syllable, and this means the second syllable is weakened. And if you take sun, sunnan, the stress is on the first syllable. Sunnan becomes sunnen, okay, because it's the second syllable where the morpheme is unstressed. This is a driving force in all Germanic languages, so that you have an initial stress, usually on the first syllable, and the second syllable, usually the syllable, second or third syllable, carrying the morpheme is weakened. So yes, hundes, schippe, hus remains, sunnen, some of this, tide, okay, and lambre, something like this, lamb, okay. Okay, and then in another step, the vowels still remained, and then you have the S. The S becomes the predominant consonant, and everything is S. Okay, hundes, schippes, hus, huses. There it is generalized. Okay, it comes here as well. Sunnes, tides, lambres, something like that. Okay, and of course one step missing, and this is that then the schwa disappears, except for cases like houses. There it is, there still is, but the schwa disappeared and just an S remains. So hounds, ships, sons, tides, lambs, something like that. But if you're thinking about the history of the language, it came about comparatively fast, quickly, because only in something like 200 years, this happened. And if you're regarding languages and their history, this is not much time. So loss of standard, and then a complete harmonization of the plural because it's simpler. It's much more simple if you just add an S everywhere and you don't have to think about, what kind of plural is it now? No, don't have to. Okay, there's the simplification, of course. The question is, of course, why did the plural morpheme S prevail in the first place? And my explanation would be, it is the best to be heard. Yeah, if you just have a schwa in the end, this is lost. But if you have something like s, this is a very auditorily prominent marker, and you had to have one which is to be had because, the articles were lost as well. Usually, in Old English, the articles denoted the plural as well. Yeah, you have the in the plural, if you like. That disappeared and only left one article, the, for everything. One definite article. Here you have the Old English article, sisio, that, thon, tha, thes, there, tham, thon, thi, thara, and so on and so on. They all became one single article, the. And if you don't have a plural article anymore, you have to make the plural auditorily prominent because the article is not a plural marker anymore. And then take one which you hear. And I think this is very prominent and for the listener, for the one who hears you speak. So that's probably an explanation, but this is what happened. So once again, all the plural endings disappeared, and in the end you just had one s, which you still have up to the present day. If you just compare my mother tongue, German, and English, if you have something like die Hunde, you see, if you don't know German, it doesn't matter, but you have here die, which is a plural marker, an article in the plural, die Hunde, and you have the schwa, and you don't need as because you still have the article. So you have two plural markers, one not very prominent, but again, the article may take over. In English, the hounds, just one plural marker. It's the same word, and the German situation, which we have today, was the same in English back then. Another example, even more. In German, I take contemporary German because Old English used to be like that. Okay, you have, if you take some like towers, in German, die Türme, and you see there are der Turm, die Türme, Turm, Türme, die Türme. So you have the article, you have the umlaut ü, okay, and you have the three plural markers, article, umlaut, and ending. In English, the towers, same word, one ending, one plural marker, only the s remained. And if you have only one, I come back to what I said before, take the one you hear, which is auditorily prominent. And this used to be this. Even in German, dialects are always a good starting point. Even in Germany, you have in dialects that they reduce these three plural markers, some of this, to just one. The Türm, for example, just the umlaut, which have many German dialects. This is a driving force, a tendency, the reduction of redundancies in a language, which means if you have three different plural markers, one is enough. One is enough. So reduce redundancies. And this happens if you lose your standard. And this brings us back to what we said before. Do away with redundancies. That's the important issue here. Okay, got that. Yes, you had other plurals as well, which still remain, but this is what I just said. There, the umlaut, for example, if you take those here, the umlaut is the plural marker, and you don't need the s anymore, as you have in many German words. Foot, feet, man, men, goose, geese, mouse, mice. This is the I umlaut, I mutation, of course, because there was an I in the following syllable, which changed the vowel before. That's what you need to know. But if you're interested in I mutation, watch my videos on I mutation. I have 2 or 3 videos on this channel on I mutation, which may be enlightening, so refer to those. But what you see here, this is a driving force. Yeah, so you need no plural marker in those words here, an S, because the mutated vowel gives you the plural. Okay, so what's that? 1 plural marker, loss of redundancies. I said this before. Children, a very good case in point. Yeah, childru. Yeah, that was the plural, and children became childre or something like this, and then they added an N. I mean, it's the only word I know in English which has 2 plural markers. Yeah? Childre, and then the N is another plural marker. So they just wanted to make sure that you have more than 1 child. I don't know why, but yes. In Dutch, by the way, as well, kinderen, I think, yes. So R is a plural marker and N is another plural marker as well. Okay, and the different vowels, child and children, happened because the singular was lengthened in Middle English times, no, Old English times already. Child became child and children remained, and therefore you have different vowels today. I have other videos on that. Look at those. This is phonology. Once again, the loss of grammatical gender, a very important thing as well. Yeah. So why does a table need a gender or a wall or something like this? And there you see say, thes, them, thon, masculine, feminine, and neuter. So a ship was neuter, all right, but a stone was masculine. So why do you need that? So grammatical gender disappears as well. Still have that in German, which is one major problem with German, that you have to learn the gender of every single item you have. The wall is feminine. The table is masculine. Why is that? Yeah, well, it's really stupid. But you can explain that from the history. You have this in English as well, as you can see here. And these are the same articles which you still have in German, Old English articles. Yeah, Thes is des, and them is dem, and thon is den, and so on. Yeah, just look at that. I mean, the paradigm of Old English was very much that of contemporary German. Okay. Yeah, it's most closely related language, of course. Yeah, here we go. Just for those of you who know that, but it's enough to know it. I mean, German keeps on track. Still, the old masculine, feminine, and neuter, and then those paradigms in English all gone. One article, that is enough. Okay, I want to stop this video with that one here, the genitive S. There's another one besides the plural S, the genitive, which is apostrophized. Why is that? Because the apostrophe, nothing is really missing here, or is it? Because, I mean, the genitive S is just inherited from Old English. Of course it is. German, we still have. Des Steines, okay, the stones. Yes, we have it. So why apostrophize? So that's a very interesting story, because it was misinterpreted as being a possessive dative. You have the king, his son, as another genitive, if you like, possessive case, and then the king's son was misinterpreted as that there is a her missing. The king, his. You have the king's son and the king, his son, and then it's a misinterpretation that the genitive was misinterpreted for a possessive dative, which has lost its H, and then it was apostrophized. Okay, and then later on even applied to the feminine. Okay, let's stop here. We'll take it from here.